Hi, welcome to Mind, Body, Spirit Synchrony, where we'll explore ways to help improve your physical, psychological, and spiritual well-being. It's all about balance. Today we're going to get into the top 10 ways to find serenity in your current situation. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase after the next big achievement, promotion, or relationship milestone, finding serenity in our present circumstances can seem elusive. Yet the ability to experience contentment and happiness exactly where we are, regardless of our current challenges, may be the most valuable skill we can develop. Life presents us with highs and lows. Then there is the space in between. This is the place I prefer to stay. Too many highs and I'm always driving to achieve, ultimately feeling let down when I don't always get to that achievement. Too many lows open avenues of victimization and depression. Regardless of what comes at me, I try to stay in a moderate place. In other words, rather than riding the turbulent peaks and troughs of life's waves, I try to paddle along in the steady stream. During periods of good tides or peak waves, I work to not allow my emotions to get too high with the moment. I want to celebrate, and I do, but I don't want to get caught up in something that may or may not last long. I want to appreciate it for what it is. It is a good blessing that's come on me at this time, and I'm glad for that. Getting emotionally tied to life's high moments is detrimental and leads to a constant desire for an endorphin kick and adrenaline flow. Over time, this is exhausting. While at the same time, trough wave periods can be difficult to navigate. Being at the bottom, I'm not able to see or anticipate what is next. Again, emotional attachment to moments while in the downside can lead to a bad state of mind and, overall, a life of discontentment. Here I try to not allow negativity to consume me and recognize this is another passing moment. None of this means I should not experience and share the good things that come at me, or that I need to put up the facade that everything coming at me is all good, when in fact, it is otherwise. It just means that circumstances come and go. I just don't want them controlling my emotions or having them determine or control my state of well-being. Hard times can be more difficult to remove emotions from, especially when there is great loss. In some cases, it takes more than sheer internal determination to break out of the emotional impact of a traumatic experience. For me, I reach out to understanding friends or a counselor to help along the way. Even doing that can be a stretch, but doing nothing will lead to more nothing. Here are 10 practical strategies for consideration when those circumstances come at you, and you don't want your emotions to carry you off into the jet stream of elation or discontent. Practice mindful presence. Practice mindful presence. Serenity exists primarily in the present moment, yet most of us spend our mental energy replaying the past or anxiously anticipating the future. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing easy, non-judgmental awareness to the present. It allows space for appreciation to emerge naturally. Even when a circumstance is just presented to you, consider just stepping back. Take a deep, relaxing breath. 3 deep breaths for true physical impact. And just take in where you are and what you're sensing. In sensing, I mean what your smells tell you, what your hands are feeling, what you are hearing, and just stay in that for a moment. This helps provide clarity. As a life practice, you can start by dedicating 5 minutes daily to simply noticing your surroundings, the sensation of your breath, the sounds around you, the feeling of sunlight on your skin. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently guide your attention back. This simple practice gradually trains your brain to spend more time in the present, where serenity happens. Cultivate daily gratitude. Gratitude fundamentally shifts our perspective from what's missing to what's present. Research consistently shows that gratitude practices significantly increase happiness and reduce depression. I practice a morning routine with prayer beginning with things I'm thankful for. I review my previous day and speak out loud the things that I appreciate that occurred. It could be as simple as the can of tuna I had for dinner, the 2 silly dogs I have that are good companions, my children, a safe journey to work, I'm able to stand up, I appreciate that I can strength train. This is a partial list. Although it is partial, it is also specific. The more specific, the more intimate the appreciation toward God. In being specific, it puts a mindful focus on the occurrence. It doesn't need to be critically thought about. There's too many things that God provides in little and big ways that I can be appreciative of. This process puts life into perspective and helps me to begin the course of my day with an improved attitude. For me, this is like a supercharge into a better day for me. It can adjust ill feelings or help lift me out of somber times. Connect meaningfully with others. Human connection constitutes our deepest source of fulfillment, yet meaningful interaction often gets sacrificed to busyness. Quality connection, even briefly, can produce immediate joy. It can be difficult to converse with someone when your spirit just isn't in the mood. At times it's just easier to avoid or go out of your way to avoid any interactions with people. I've been there enough times, I just don't want to make it a habit. There's a real benefit when I connect with someone and make it a point to make that person feel important. Just by making inquiries on how their day was and picking up key points from that for further discussion, lifts that person's spirit, and I feel better for having helped someone out, even if it seems like such a small thing. Challenge yourself to have one conversation daily where you're fully present, curious, and attentive. This doesn't need to be long or extensive either. Put away devices, maintain eye contact, and ask questions that invite the other person to share beyond surface-level responses. These authentic exchanges satisfy our innate need for connection and generate spontaneous moments of shared enjoyment. Along with that, having lifted another person's spirit cascades to a personal uplift. You'll experience a mutual uplift. Engage your senses fully. Joy lives in our senses, yet habitual routines often dull our sensory awareness. Intentionally engaging your senses brings immediate access to pleasure and presence. Sensory appreciation. Turn ordinary activities into opportunities for sensory appreciation. Truly taste your morning coffee, rather than drinking it mechanically. Feel the sensation of water during your shower. Notice the texture of your clothing against your skin. These micro moments of sensory engagement interrupt autopilot living and open pathways to everyday enjoyment. Find the time and space to truly appreciate what is around you. In doing so, you'll engage your mind to help with focus and clarity. You will also gain a sense of gratitude, and this is an uplift in your state of mind as well. Identify and prioritize flow activities. Flow describes the state of being so enjoyably absorbed in an activity that you lose track of time. This state, where challenge and skill level are perfectly balanced, produces profound satisfaction. Reflect on when you naturally experience flow, perhaps while playing music, gardening, problem solving, or engaged in creative work. Schedule these activities intentionally, protecting them from cancellation when life gets busy. Even 30 minutes in a flow state can restore your entire perspective and generate lasting joy. Release what you cannot control. Much of our distress comes from attempting to control circumstances beyond our influence. This futile effort drains the energy we could direct toward appreciating what's within our reach. Create a simple 2-column list: things you can control and things you cannot. For items in the cannot control column, practice consciously releasing your grip through statements like, "I acknowledge I cannot control this situation, and I choose to direct my energy elsewhere." This deliberate surrender creates immediate space for joy to enter. When you get into the mindset to let things go that are out of your control, you will find your entire body will relax, from your thoughts to your muscles. It's the things we cannot control that begin to take control of us through ruminations, stressing about lack of control and how we'd handle it if we had control. Just squaring off with the fact that we don't have control will ease the uphill walk we force upon ourselves and turn it into a downward tread. Embrace imperfection. Perfectionism, holding yourself to impossible standards, virtually guarantees dissatisfaction. Ironically, embracing imperfection not only relieves suffering but often improves outcomes through reduced anxiety. Intentionally practice good enough in appropriate areas. Send the email without obsessive editing. Allow your home to remain pleasantly lived in rather than showcase perfect. Share ideas before they're fully polished. These small acts of imperfection paradoxically create more room for serenity by reducing self-imposed pressure. Create micro moments of delight. Serenity needn't arrive through grand experiences or major life changes. Small, intentional moments of pleasure scattered throughout your day can transform your emotional landscape. Design your environment and routines to include reliable pleasure. Position your desk to face your favorite view. Keep fresh flowers where you'll regularly see them. Create a morning ritual around your favorite tea. Take a different route home to enjoy new scenery. These seemingly minor adjustments provide consistent access points to joy regardless of your broader circumstances. Practice generosity. Neuroscience confirms what wisdom traditions have long taught: giving genuinely benefits the giver. The act of generosity activates pleasure centers in our brain, creating what researchers call a helper's high. Look for simple opportunities to give without expectation. Pay for a stranger's coffee. Send an encouraging message to someone navigating difficulty. Offer sincere appreciation to service workers. These small gestures create immediate joy both for the recipient and, perhaps even more intensely, for you as the giver. Try this a couple of times. When you generate that smile on the person you've encouraged or helped, you will feel so uplifted yourself. Then the realization sets in that this is how it's supposed to be. Just keep making the good influences one point at a time. Reframe challenges as growth opportunities. Our most challenging circumstances often contain hidden invitations to growth, meaning and eventually a deeper capacity for joy. Developing the habit of conscious reframing transforms our relationship with difficulty. When facing obstacles, ask yourself, what might this situation be teaching me? How might this challenge be preparing me for something important? What strength or wisdom might I develop through this experience? This practice doesn't deny reality, but rather creates a more empowering context that allows joy to coexist with challenge. Putting this to practice has helped me pull out of victimization and into learning, understanding, empathizing, physical well-being, and mental well-being. This practice is truly a game changer. It may take a few times to run through, but once it's established as a life method, you will change how you approach everything, and it will be a better approach. Look to learn. Finding your personal path to serenity. The practices above offer diverse pathways to serenity, but ultimately your relationship and serenity is uniquely yours. Notice which approaches naturally resonate and adapt them to your specific circumstances and personality. Remember that finding serenity in your current situation doesn't mean denying legitimate struggles or suppressing authentic emotions. Instead, it means expanding your perceptual field to include the goodness, beauty, and meaning that coexist alongside your challenges. The most powerful realization may be that serenity isn't primarily a product of your circumstances, but rather your relationship with those circumstances. By developing these practices, you cultivate the profound ability to experience contentment and peace exactly where you are, while still moving toward where you hope to be. Well, that's what it is for now. Stay balanced in your mind, body, and spirit. They all work together, defining who we are. We are better balanced when we give equal time to each. We hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you did, please help us out by giving a like and add us as a subscription. Keep in mind, life keeps coming at us, the dirt roads are rough, but the scenery is great. There's something good in it all. Enjoy the ride.